Despite being located next to Vietnam and Thailand, Cambodia is unlike any other Southeast Asian country you've ever seen. Think Cambodia is all Angkor Wat, tuk-tuks and a troubled past? Wrong. There's a dark side, and some shockingly bizarre things too, from its mysterious political system to its unexpected customs. Why is Cambodia called the strangest country in Southeast Asia? Will these little-known facts about the country change the way you see the whole region? Discover 15 mind-blowing facts, and you'll never look at Cambodia the same way again. 1. Angkor's celestial whisper. The universe doesn't always speak in stars, sometimes, it carves its secrets into stone. What does it mean to stand where heaven meets earth? In the heart of Siem Reap, a travel documentary unfolds where ancient stones hum with cosmic resonance. Angkor Wat, a sprawling masterpiece of the 12th century, rises like a lotus blooming toward the divine. Its towers, shaped like sacred peaks, mirror the Hindu-Buddhist vision of the cosmos, their weathered surfaces etched with tales of gods and warriors. At dawn, golden light spills over intricate carvings, igniting stories of the Ramayana and Khmer glory. A local monk whispers that these walls hold the pulse of a nation's soul. Each year, millions tread its sacred paths, offering lotus blooms for blessings, their hearts stirred by a sunrise that feels like a celestial embrace. Can you hear the ancient hymns calling you to this eternal dance? 2. Khmer Rouge, darkness without a grave. A country filled with laughter and sunshine was once suffocatingly silent. Can a nation revive after losing a quarter of its soul? There are pains that have no shape, no monuments. They live silently in the old walls, in the cold corridors, where people walk lightly as if afraid to awaken memories. Tuol Sleng, a school turned into a slaughterhouse. The silent photos hanging on the wall do not name names, but tell lives. From 1975 to 1979, this country seemed to be forced to forget how to love. Nearly 2 million people were taken away by hunger, torture, execution, in the name of an illusory dream. A survivor once said, "We did not survive because we were strong. We lived because someone needed to remember." Today, visitors come here not just to learn what happened, but to understand why it must never happen again. The silence in the old cells is more than just an empty space, it is testimony. And amid that silence, a voice of hope speaks, that trauma, when told, can be transformed into life. 3. Land mines, scars that hold their breath. Where rice grows every season, death lies silently beneath our feet. How can people live fully when every step could be their last? There are lands where people have to learn to walk lightly as if they are walking through memories. Not because they are afraid of hurting the land, but because the land can hurt them. Millions of land mines, like curses left over from the war, are scattered under the fields, under the village roads, under the dreams of children. They do not explode every day, but their presence is enough to make every activity tinged with caution. In Battambang, a child going to school must avoid red warning signs with skulls. A farmer sows rice, but his heart is still worried, is today the day the land gets angry? However, in that dark place, small lights shine. They are the mind clearers, many of whom once held guns, now stooping to pick up each dead body from the ground. They not only make the land safe, they give it back its right to grow and live. One mind clearer said, "Every mine removed is a child running barefoot in the fields." The fields that once smelled of gunpowder now smell of young rice. The hands that once trembled with fear now firmly sow the crops again. Not all wounds are visible. But when a land learns to forgive the past, it also learns to love itself again. 4. Trees and temples, when nature whispers to ancient stones. It is not humans who preserve memories, it is trees that are the silent guardians of history. Can a tree become a living memory, embracing what humans have forgotten? Ta Prok, not a ruin. It is a meeting between two worlds, stone and roots. In that place, the forest does not destroy temples. It embraces. The giant old banyan trees grow through the roof, through the arches, as if they are holding on to every piece of ancient memory. No rush, no invasion, just a long, thousand-year-old embrace. Cambodians believe that these trees are the dwelling place of Nikta, ancient spirits, invisible guardians of this country. And in the eerie silence of Ta Proch, you can almost feel it. The wind blows like a whisper. Moss covers the walls like a cloak of time. A monk once said, "Here, trees do not live to grow. Trees live to remember." As the afternoon falls, light glides across the cracked stone slabs, creating shadows like stirring memories. Everything seems to stop breathing for a moment, a blink of an eye between the past and the present. People come to Ta Proch not just to see the temple. They come to feel the way nature protects what humans leave behind. And leave, carrying a quiet question. Are there temples that only truly live when embraced by the forest? Five. Tonlé Sap's Liquid Lullaby. Home isn't always built on solid ground, sometimes, it floats on a lake's gentle sway. Can you imagine a life where water sings you to sleep? Tonlé Sap, a vast freshwater heart in Cambodia's chest, breathes with the rhythm of the seasons. Its waters swell and recede, cradling villages that drift upon its surface. Here, boats are lifelines, ferrying children to school, traders to markets, and dreams to shore. Families live in homes that rise and fall with the lake's tides, their lives woven into its ebbs and flows. At sunset, mangroves glow gold, reflecting a world where resilience mirrors the water's endless dance. A villager's smile speaks of a bond with the lake, their mother, their muse. Could you find home in a world that never stands still? Six. Apsara's Dance of Divinity. Not every story is told in words, some are woven through the curve of a hand. What does it mean to dance with the gods? In the glow of Phnom Penh stages, Apsara dancers move like living myths, their gilded silk catching the light like stars. Each gesture, honed from childhood, tells of celestial love and cosmic harmony, echoing the carvings of ancient temples. Their steps, delicate yet deliberate, carry the weight of 1,000 years, connecting the Khmer past to a vibrant present. Audiences sit spellbound, watching as hands weave tales of divine grace, each movement a prayer set to music. A dancer's eyes gleam with pride, knowing she carries her ancestors' legacy. Can you feel the divine stirring in Apsara's timeless grace? Seven. The Killing Fields, when the land buries memories. In many places, the land is the place where life is sown. But in Cambodia, there are lands where every step seems to touch an untold secret. People call it the Killing Fields. But what dies is not only people, but also childhoods, beliefs, dreams buried alive without names or graves. Under the peaceful soil are thousands of mass graves, some big enough to swallow an entire village. After each rain, people still see bones, torn clothes, even human teeth rising from the ground. No monuments, no lights, just wooden stakes, bamboo trees, and wind chimes in Quyeongak, where tens of thousands of people were executed. A tree where Khmer Rouge soldiers once smashed the heads of newborn babies is now filled with colorful bracelets. Modern children light up memories with quiet gifts. Someone asked, why doesn't Cambodia build a house on that land? Because for them, every meter of land is not just land, it is a witness. It is a warning in flesh and blood, if you forget, tragedy will return. 8. The Reborn, turning pain into action. Cambodia was not resurrected by miracles, but by ordinary people, scarred, but still moving forward. Sinful, born after the Khmer Rouge. Her mother survived, but lost her voice forever because of trauma. Sinful did not choose hatred, she learned to draw, then recreated her mother's memories through each stroke of her pen. Now, she runs a free drawing class for poor children in Phnom Penh. Aki Ra, a former Khmer Rouge soldier, who used to spread mines across the fields. After the war, he threw away his gun, learned to defuse mines. The hands that once sowed death, now removed danger. He built a small museum, telling the truth, not to accuse, but to prevent it from happening again. People like them do not forget the past, they turn it into action. They do not shout for justice, they build justice themselves, in silence. It is they, not aid or policy - who are the reason Cambodia can rise today, from where it was once engulfed by darkness. Nine. The soul of Buddhism, a light in the dark. In the darkest years, when human voices were silent, the temple bells also disappeared. The Khmer Rouge not only killed people, but also wanted to erase the soul of the nation. More than 4,000 temples were destroyed. Most monks were killed or forced to return to secular life. Buddhism, the core of Khmer life, was forced to be silent. But the soul is not easily extinguished. After the war, the people rebuilt the temple roofs with their own hands, not just bricks and tiles, but with faith. Each chant, each small festival next to the broken Buddha statue, is a way to heal the loss that no words can describe. Today, Buddhism permeates every beat of life. A child offers a bowl of rice to the altar, a soldier bows before a monk - not loudly, not dogmatically, but like an underground stream, leading the Khmer people back to themselves. Cambodia does not find peace by forgetting, but by rekindling the spiritual lamp that once flickered, and has never gone out. Siem Reap Night Market, where memories meet the present. As the sun sets behind the stone towers of Angkor Wat, another Cambodia awakens - no longer the ancient dynasties or the silent fields, but the bright lights, music and spicy aromas of the present. Siem Reap Night Market. Here, traditional krama scarves hang next to t-shirts printed with stylized Buddha images. An old craftsman sits next to a Western bar. The scene of poverty and nostalgia for the past is colored by the laughter of tourists, the eyes of vendors, the smell of grilled skewers spreading in the night. But the night market is not just for selling, it is for telling. The woodcarver tells about his father, who passed on the craft after escaping from a re-education camp. The old woman selling woven scarves whispers, each stitch is a prayer, not for herself, but for her children and grandchildren. In the modern pace of life, Cambodia still remembers how to tell stories with hands, with smells, with looks. Siem Reap Night Market is not just a place to buy and sell, it is a place where memories and the future join hands under the golden lights, in a sincere invitation. 11. Script that sings of soul. Letters aren't just symbols, sometimes, they dance like poetry carved in time. Can you write a nation's spirit with a single stroke? The Khmer script flows like a river of heritage, its 74 characters curling with elegance, each curve a brushstroke of history. Born from ancient roots, these letters mirror the grace of Apsara dancers, weaving stories of gods and kings into every word. In Phnom Penh's classrooms, children trace these lines, their pencils breathing life into a legacy that binds past to present. A teacher's voice softens with pride. To write Khmer is to paint the soul of a people. From temple inscriptions to modern screens, this script carries Cambodia's heartbeat. Would you dare to trace its poetic curves? 12. Life on the Tonlé Sap Lake, when water is everything. Tonlé Sap, a name as light as the wind, but carrying the weight of a civilization. Not only is it the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia, but it is also the beating heart of Cambodia - where people count time not by days, but by the rising and falling water seasons. In the rainy season, the Mekong River pushes its water back, causing the lake to expand 5 times, swallowing up fields and villages. In the dry season, the water recedes, leaving fertile alluvium for people to cultivate. As for floating villages like Chongnias or Kampong Phuoc, people do not fight the water, they live with it. Drifting with the tide is part of destiny. Children learn to row a boat before they learn to ride a bike. Schools, grocery stores, churches, all floating. Fish are the source of life. Water is the road, the roof, the limit, and also freedom. But now, climate change, overfishing and waste are drying up the lake - not just physically, but culturally. Will Tonlé Sap one day be just a memory - a floating civilization that once floated silently, like a dream in the morning mist? Phnom Penh, capital of memories that refuse to sleep. Phnom Penh, the name sounds like a gentle poem, but also as sharp as memories that have not been closed. The capital of Cambodia is not as flashy as Bangkok, not as modern as Singapore. It is like an old diary, worn spine, but each page contains unforgettable things. Along the Mekong River, people sip coffee under the shade of trees. While in the distance is the royal palace, the golden tiled roof is like the memory of the glorious times. Nearby, the silver pagoda, where Khmer people whisper their wishes that they dare not say out loud. But Phnom Penh also carves pain into each brick. Once you step into the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum, you cannot leave the same. Each room, each iron bed, each photo, recounts the crimes that history must not forget. Here, the past and the present live side by side, sometimes tense, sometimes in harmony. Bars have sprung up next to the memorial. Young people dance under neon lights, just a few streets away from where thousands of souls once quietly departed. Phnom Penh does not hide its scars. It leaves them exposed, as a reminder, to go far, one must first know where one comes from. (14) Sea and Mountains, Unnamed Memory Zones. When mentioning Cambodia, people immediately think of Angkor Wat. But this country has other quiet places, where the sea whispers and the mountains tell stories. Along the southern coast, the fishing villages of Kep, Camp Hot still retain their rustic soul, old tin roofs, sun-dried fishing nets, the spicy smell of pepper mixed with the salty wind. No resorts, no bars, just the sound of children laughing on the sand, even though meals sometimes consist of only white rice and salt. To the west, the Cardamom Mountains are majestic but quiet. Once a resistance base, once soaked in blood. Now the last refuge of many Southeast Asian wildlife where the forests are gradually retreating in the face of the thirst for profit. There are unnamed mountain peaks, unmapped bays. Not because they are nameless, but because people have not listened long enough to understand what the wind is whispering. Perhaps these very places, the sea and the mountains are the wordless diary of a country searching for itself, simple, painful, but full of humanity. (15) Silk that weaves eternity. Threads don't always fade. Sometimes, they carry 1,000 years of dreams. What does it feel like to touch a story spun from time? In Takeo's quiet villages, artisans coax vibrant silk from wooden looms, their hands dancing with the wisdom of ages. Dyed with turmeric and indigo, each scarf shimmers with Cambodia's spirit, a craft that stitches past to future. The loom's steady clack echoes like a heartbeat, filling the air with tales of resilience and art. Holding a sarong feels like cradling history itself, its colors alive with the land's vibrance. A weaver smiles, knowing her work travels the world, carrying her home's legacy. Can you feel the weight of a millennium in a single thread? From temples that touch the stars to jungles that sing of life, Cambodia weaves a story of wonder, pain, and unbreakable spirit. Each step through its lands, whether tracing ancient scripts, tasting survival's flavors, or hearing the loom's lullaby, feels like a conversation with time itself. This is a land that doesn't just endure, it dreams, it dances, it rises. Which piece of Cambodia's soul will you carry with you? Will you let its secrets shape your own story?